Hi, this is Rich Bernardo with the Rich Bernardo channel, and I am going to be reading from a transcript of a conversation that I had with a uh, customer service rep for YouTube. Now, let me give you the background to this. My channel on YouTube was demonetized on December 16th, 2022. And there was an outstanding balance of $78 sitting there in my account, which I had earned between December 1st, 2022, and December the 16th, 2022, when I was demonetized. Okay. Now, I contacted customer service rep at the time, and because the payment threshold is $100, I did not receive that payment in January. And I was told the only way I would be able to receive the $78 payment would be to close out my Google AdSense account. First, I went ahead in January 16th and I tried to appeal for remonetization. Of course, it was denied. They did not remonetize my channel. So February 16th rolls around, 30 more days, because you have to wait 30 days before you can apply to be monetized again. I applied again to be monetized, and once again, YouTube refused me. So once again, on February 16th, I was not monetized. So here we are, and that $78 I earned was still sitting in my Google AdSense account from back in December. All right, the only way I can collect it, I was told, was to close my Google AdSense account out, and that I would receive the $78 balance, a final payment, within 90 days. Well, guess what, folks? This is May 31st, 2023. I closed my Google AdSense account on February 16th, 2023. You can count up the days and do the math. It's been every bit of 90 days, maybe a little bit more, and I still have not received my $78 final payment. That's money that I earned for views on YouTube with my YouTube channel prior to being demonetized on December 16th. So I appealed to customer service today. Where's my $78? I was very nice. I was very polite. And I am going to read that transcript to you now because they did send a copy of it to me in my Gmail. So hold on just a second. I'm going to get into my Gmail and I will read the entire exchange to you between me and the customer service rep there on YouTube. So, folks, if you are a content creator and you've been demonetized and there's money sitting in your account less than $100, you cannot access it, they're telling me, unless you close your Google AdSense account out. Well, guess what? You'll see what the trick is, what the way they're keeping your money and not giving it to you. You're fixing to find that out from the transcript here of what the customer service rep told me. So here we go. We're fixing to be into that. I'm waiting for it to load. The Gmail is awfully slow, folks. Wonder why. Could it be that since I'm recording this on Vocaroo and they know I'm fixing to read this transcript, they don't like that? Could it be? So anyway, let's get on in here. Now all of a sudden my Gmail is opening. And the Gmail is where the transcript was sent, a copy of the conversation that I had with the YouTube customer service representative. So, I've got a decent signal. It's just taking forever for things to load. So, here we are. So, his name, I'm not going to call his name out, but the customer service rep says, "How can I help you?" I say, "Hello." He says, "Hi there, I'm here to help you." He says, "What seems to be the problem?" I tell him I've not received my final payment from Google AdSense, $78 balance in my account, even though 90 days have passed since I closed my Google AdSense account on February 16, 2023. There were no holes on my account, and I did not owe any money. Then he says, "I see." Then he says, "Thanks for sharing this information with me." Then he says, I understand that you're concerned about your payments that you still haven't received. Then he says, I know how important this is for you since this is your hard-earned money from all the amazing content you create. He says, no worries, let me check this for you. Then I give him additional information to help clarify things. I told him I was demonetized on December 16, 2022, but I was not suspended. I did not receive the November. Oh, I did receive the November earnings that I'd made in November. That payment came for YouTube views from Google AdSense on December 21st, 2022. That was about $148. But I was told the only way that I would be able to collect the remaining $78 that I had earned from December 1st, 2022 to December 16th was to close my Google AdSense account, which I did on February 16th, 2023. I was told to wait 90 days for my final payment. Well, the 90 days have passed and I've not received my payment of the $78 final balance. So then the customer service rep says, thanks for the additional information. Would you please give me several minutes as I check on this? I tell him yes. He says, could you give me a few minutes of your time to check on this? I said, yes, of course. He says, thanks, I'll be right back. I say, okay. Then again, I remind him, remember, I was not suspended. I was simply demonetized. I appealed for remonetization on January 16th, 2023, and then again on February 16th, 2023, and was not remonetized. I was informed that the only way to collect the balance sitting in my Google AdSense account was to close my account, which I did on February 16th, 2023. So then he comes back. He says, thanks for waiting. Then he says, upon checking, you are correct. Your channel was demonetized. I said, I was told I would receive the $78 balance in my Google AdSense account within 90 days of closing my account. Well, 90 days have passed and I've not gotten it yet. So then he says, if your channel has been suspended for longer than 50 days, we've already refunded the money back to the advertiser and you won't receive payment. Listen to that carefully, folks. They're going to screw you out of your money if it hasn't reached 100. You're gonna get screwed out of that money if you have been. And I again tell him that I wasn't suspended. I said I was not suspended, and I never did receive the $78. Not in January, not in February, not in March, not in April, and now not in May. Then he says we refund advertisers for ad spend that run on content that does not comply with YouTube's channel monetization policies. Then he says, yes, I understand that you're not suspended. He then says your channel was just demonetized. So I'm fed up, and I tell him straight up, I will be contacting an attorney, and I will be putting together a class action lawsuit with other content creators who have experienced this same thing. I will not be screwed out of my final $78 payment. So folks, anybody listening out there, if you had a YouTube channel and you never got your final payment, please join my class action lawsuit. So the guy comes back and he says, and if your channel was demonetized and you haven't got your monetization back within 50 days, we refund advertisers for ad spend that ran on content that does not comply with YouTube's channel monetization policies. Then he says, in light of the stated intent to take legal action in our prior correspondence, I will have to close this chat and turn this case over to the legal team, who may or may not respond directly to your request as they deem necessary. I was unable to provide you with further assistance on this matter. I'm unable to provide you with further assistance. Bye. And so that was the end of my conversation with the YouTube customer service rep. So, folks, I think there's a big lawsuit coming, a class action lawsuit from YouTube content creators who have been demonetized and did not receive their final Google AdSense payment. So, folks, get in touch with the attorney, get in touch with me. My contact information is below. And this has been Richard Vernado, and Gideon137 at live.com, researcher955 at Gmail. I'm also Rich Vernado over on Twitter. I'm also Rich Vernado over on Rumble. So there's numerous ways you can find me. You can also find me as Rich Vernado on Facebook. So, folks, join the class action lawsuit against YouTube. Thank you very much.